the AMT 1 to 2500th scale Cadet Series Star Trek model kits. This is the Enterprise C, D, and E. They're straightforward. They're Cadet Series, so they're meant to be snap tight, but I would suggest you use glue anyway. You really want the model to be solidly put together. They're pretty straightforward kits. Not a whole lot of parts to them. Here's the instructions for the E, and as you can see here, the warp nacelles are only 2 parts, and then you have the hull section, and then this is actually 2 parts: the lower part of the sausage section and the upper part of the sausage section. They come with complete decals to finish the model. They suggest that you paint them before, and that's what I did. These 2 are painted with the base coat of white, and then the D is a gray, which I think a white might have been better, or maybe even a light blue. So I may get another kit and do it in either a light blue or a white. Not a whole lot of painting involved, depending on how much detail you want. For instance, on the E, the only parts that I had to paint were the impulse engines and the shuttlecraft door, and the warp nacelles. On the D, the Bassard collectors, where it's gold and blue, is where I had to paint, and basically the same thing on the C. Bassard, there's some gold on the side, and the blue of the warp nacelles. Everything else you see except for the base coat are the decals, and they have quite a few decals. The E came with 4 sheets, and basically these are the backings. Well, they put these in with the sheet with the decals so they don't get stuck together, but this is roughly the size of one sheet, would be this size. So you had 4 sheets for the E of decals, and then the D is at least 2, I can't remember, and so was the C, at least 2 sheets. And the E and the C actually have mounting holes built into the model, so you can build your own mounts. They don't come with mounts. If you want to mount them like this, you have to make them yourself. Oh, and if you see back there, the original Enterprise, that isn't a model. That's a little, I guess you call it a toy, which I purchased at Books A Million. It comes with a little booklet, like a little technical manual type thing. Tells you all about the science of Star Trek, so they can sell it at a bookstore, I guess. But it's basically the same scale as the other 3, so I thought I'd bring that out. When you assemble this, before you put the decals on, before you do final assembly, you can assemble and that goes for all 3 models. You want to assemble your sausage section, your main drive section, and your warp nacelles. Then put the decals on the individual parts, the warp nacelles, and then do your final assembly. There are parts on all 3 of these models which are going to be very inaccessible if you fully assemble the model and then try to put the decals on. For instance, this is all one decal, and the same thing on the bottom. It's all one decal. So as you can see, where the sausage section meets the drive section, you're not going to be able to get in there. It'd be very difficult. Now you can chop these up and try to put them in maybe 2 or 3 separate pieces, but the lines might not line up. You might not have as smooth a look unless you're really skilled at it. And like I said, that goes for all 3. You don't want to necessarily completely assemble the model and then try to put your decals on. And like I said, there are a lot of decals. Like on this one, this is all one piece, all one decal, and I actually didn't get this. Wasn't able to get this to come together. I'm not sure how well they are, because you see, there's actually cutouts in the decal for the phaser banks to poke through. So it being one piece, it's really easy to tear. They're paper thin isn't a good enough description. They're they're like rice paper thin. They will break up real easy. You have to be real delicate with them. I'll show you the bottom. This is the D. Also, once you put your decals on, you want to hit it with some of the clear, flat lacquer. That really helps give the models a nice uniform look and really helps the decals stick and adhere to the model so they don't look like decals. But here's an example of how thin they are. You can see they break up real easily. And then also you'll have a main decal and then another decal that might go over that one. Like you'll put this decal down and then the registry number goes. And the same thing here. These are one decal and then this is a separate decal. Same with that. Now the D doesn't have any holes to mount on a stand. And I can only assume it's because you couldn't mount it the way the other two are, because the center of balance is in a different place. Also, I had to paint the shuttle bay doors, and this decal didn't want to stick, so I had to actually spray the model with some lacquer and then put the decal on. And that can be kind of tricky. These smaller decals can rip and tear easily, or even get stuck to your fingers. So it's a real delicate process. I'll take this one off its stand. You can see. Now the order of which these are assembled, I did the C first, then the D, and then the E. And you could probably tell as I went, I got much better at the placing the decals on. See if I can get the C off its stand. There we go. And like I mentioned, this right here, from all the way around, the whole sausage section, all one decal. This is one decal, this ring here's a decal, and then the registry is a decal. Deflector dish I have to paint. These are two separate decals on either side. Actually, I think it was 4. There was 2 on the side and then 1 on the bottom. I can't remember. And then this here is a decal. Basically, everything you see that's not white and that's not the 3 parts on the warp and cell is a decal. So it's definitely got everything you need to finish the model. There's hardly any real painting involved other than the initial coat. See if I can get this back on. Alright, I'm not going to try. There you go. Turn this off. Alright, great little kits, even if you're just a beginner, or maybe even a seasoned professional model builder, which I am not. I haven't built a model in like 30 years, so I decided to do this. I was really pleased with the outcome, can't be happier. Other than, like I said, I wish maybe I tried a different other than gray, because they said to paint this with a base coat of gray too, and I don't think that would have come out looking anything like if it was base gray, I don't think it would have looked right. So going with white, I think was the right thing to do. And thinking about doing this in a different color, maybe a white. I think I like it, even though I'm not sure exactly that's the way it's supposed to be. It's probably more like a blue, but I think a white would look pretty cool. All right, thanks. Thanks for watching, and click the like button if you liked it. And if you didn't like it, please tell me why. Probably because I rambled on, but this is one of those stream of consciousness reviews. Thanks for watching.